The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a prince who wanted to marry a real princess. He traveled far and wide, across mountains and seas, visiting many kingdoms to find his true love. But every time he met a princess, something just didn't seem right. Either they weren't kind, or they didn't have the grace he imagined a true princess would have. The prince grew sad and worried that he would never find his real princess. One stormy night, as the wind howled and rain poured down, there was a knock on the door of the castle. The king himself went to open it, and to his surprise, there stood a young woman, drenched from head to toe. She was soaked through, her hair clinging to her face, and her clothes were muddy from the storm. "I'm a princess," the young woman said. "May I please stay here for the night? My carriage broke down in the storm, and I have nowhere else to go." The king invited her in and took her to meet the queen. The queen looked at the girl closely. A princess, you say?" The queen thought to herself. She wanted to see if this young woman was a real princess, so she came up with a clever plan. "Of course, you can stay here," said the queen warmly. "We'll prepare a bed for you right away." The queen went to the guest room and took the mattress off the bed. Then, she placed a single pea on the wooden bed frame. Next, she ordered 20 mattresses to be piled on top of the pea. To make the bed even more comfortable, she added 20 feather beds on top of the mattresses. The bed was now so high that the princess needed a ladder to climb into it. "Good night, dear," the queen said, smiling as she closed the door. The next morning, the queen asked the princess how she had slept. "Oh, it was terrible," the princess exclaimed. "I barely slept at all. I felt something hard under the mattresses, and it bruised me all over. I'm so tired, I can hardly move." The queen was delighted. Only a real princess would be sensitive enough to feel a pea through 20 mattresses and 20 feather beds, she thought. The prince was overjoyed. He had finally found his real princess. She was so delicate and sensitive that she could feel even the smallest thing, just as a true princess would. The prince and the princess were soon married in a grand celebration. The king, queen, and everyone in the kingdom rejoiced, for the prince had found his true love. As for the pea, it was put in a special glass case in the royal museum, where it can still be seen today. And so, the prince and his real princess lived happily ever after, proving that sometimes, the smallest things can make the biggest difference. And that's the story of The Princess and the Pea. It teaches us that true royalty comes from within and that small details can reveal big truths.